shopping like me, you fancy a little DIY. Sometimes that might mean doing a little custom embroidery on a sweater. Where my Chihiro head's at. Mending moth holes with some colorful needle felting. Ooh. And if you've been watching this channel recently, you'll know that I have this goal of adding one of these DIY personal touches, an upcycle, if you will, to my entire thrifted closet. So today we tackle our next DIY victim, and I'm wearing it right now. See, I've been wearing the crap out of this pumpkin-y wool sweater that I thrifted all winter, but today I looked down at the buttons and I had a reaction. So boring. So today we're gonna swap out the buttons of this sweater, but we're not gonna use any of the mountains of vintage buttons that I have. We're gonna make them out of Shrinky dinks. So Shrinky dinks have been around since the 70s, and if you're not familiar, you draw on a piece of plastic, cut out your shape, heat it up, and it shrinks down and gets real tiny, real cute. I actually bought a bunch of Shrinky dink sheets like a year ago because I wanted to make charms to put on jewelry. So luckily, I already kind of had the thing. Have I actually tested this yet? No, but I watched exactly one TikTok tutorial, so I think you could consider me an expert at this point. Thank you to TikTok user Gaggo Baby. Go check them out and their awesome Shrinky Dink crafts. So one thing about me is I have no idea how much this is gonna shrink. So we're gonna try a couple different sizes and do a little test. This will also allow us to test our coloring utensils to see which ones work the best. I asked for these Stabilo colored pencils on my Christmas list 2 Christmases ago because they specifically work on plastic. Paper, glass, plastic, metal. So here we are. I also have your classic Prismacolor pencils to use as well. See where we get. Before we get too far into the video, yes, the craft does turn out, although it is quite the journey. And Thrift Gremlin t-shirts are available today if you're watching it the day this video is released, March 9th. Then you can go to kathleenillustrated.co and get your grubby little stinky little paws on a Thrift Gremlin t-shirt if you want. Just thought I'd let you know. Okay, back to the video. Wouldn't it be nice to have a stencil? Then we wouldn't have to use our brains. That could work. That could work. I won't even lie, this is so satisfying to draw on. We use the Stabilo ones. Smiley Face Company, please don't sue me. So aggressive. Comfy. You gotta hear this. There's a little bit of boing to it. A little bit of boing. So there are a couple different ways that we could shrink these dinks. Oven, toaster oven, heat gun. I'm hoping that the oven works. I feel like that would be the easiest, but a dark part of me also hopes it doesn't work so I can use the heat gun. In they go. Can you see? Is that in focus? Don't come for me from my grimy oven window, okay? I'll give you the play-by-play. Nothing's happening. Oh, we've got a flare-up. We've got a curler. They look like pepperoni cups. Should I make a new YouTube channel, but it's just time lapses of Shrinky Dink shrinking? I think my dink done shrink. Oh. My life just flashed before my eyes. High snappability rating to that fall. We had my mic attached, we had the camera attached to the tripod, we had my screen flipped out, so many things that could have broken. I think it's fine. Okay, back to the Shrinky Dinks. Is the perfect size. Also, both coloring techniques worked really well. Cool. So now that we know what size to use and what coloring utensil we need to use and what heating mechanism we need to use, what do we want our buttons to look like? And personally, I am holding the fact that it is almost spring in a vice grip. I'm not gonna lie, the grays and the browns of my environment feels like a personal attack. Especially when I see little daffodil sprouts coming up, little snowdrops and crocuses popping up. So I think my buttons are going to be an ode and a promise to spring. And a couple of things come to mind immediately. Can you see my underwear? The aforementioned flowers, perhaps a critter, a butterfly, reminding us of a beautiful transformation that this luscious green spring foliage will become. So I'm gonna sketch a couple ideas. I'm also gonna ask y'all on Instagram what reminds you of spring. And if you wanna participate in these kind of polls that directly impact, sometimes, the path of my videos, you can follow me on Instagram at kathleenillustrated. I say that because sometimes I listen to y'all and sometimes y'all are wrong. Sorry, I'm just kind of in a bad mood. The weather forecast said it was going to be like 60, 65 today, and it's literally sleeting. I'm being pelted with microscopic ice balls. And I don't appreciate it. I'm taking it personally, as is my right. I also think I'm in a bad mood because I'm hungry. Because once again, it is 3:30 p.m. and I have not eaten lunch yet. So let's fix that. Punch all your buns, I will punch all your buns. What are you doing here? What do you mean, what am I doing here? I live here. No, but what are you? I'm you. And I'm feeding myself because you got distracted with your little crafts again. You don't have to be mean about it. I'm sick of it. I'm hungry and all I can find are these tingly moist polygons. Oh, that's ice. No, it's not ice, it's bad. Okay, well, calm down. I have these meals from Factor that we can microwave in like 2 minutes. Who is microwave? No, microwave? Microwave? I have a crowave? Are you an alien? No. I'm a voiceover. With Factor's fresh, never frozen meals delivered straight to my door, I can choose from over 35 meals each week in a variety of options like keto, vegan and veggie. And Factor offsets 100% of delivery emissions and sources 100% renewable electricity for their offices and production sites. As y'all know, I'm so thankful to have Factor in the fridge when I inevitably get lost in the crafting sauce and need a quick and delicious fuel up on busy days. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50illustrated to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50illustrated at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the crafting. I've got all my supplies out to start making these dang buttons, and I was like, oh wait, I need a hole puncher to make the holes. I just looked everywhere. I cannot find my hole puncher. What kind of person doesn't know where their hole puncher is? I distinctly remember buying my hole puncher for a video and saying when I bought it, that's how you know you really made it, when you buy a hole puncher. Guess I haven't really made it. Let's go get a hole puncher. Is it embarrassing to set up my camera and take all of these shots? Yes, but I should be embarrassed. Who loses their hole punch? Nothing like a little self-flagellation at Michael's on a Friday afternoon. Oh, are you stuck? I got you. Moral support. After you. All right, let's see what Instagram has to say about what's going to be on our buttons. Also, welcome to t-shirt hell. I hope the launch of the t-shirts went well. Finished folding all of them this morning. And soon, all these and these will be in your grubby little paws. But for now, we think of smaller things. We think of buttons in the shape of butterflies. How many responses we got? Oh. That's a lot. It has literally been 1 hour. We've got rain, we've got dew, hyacinths, bluebells, you beautiful flower. Stop. Chirpy chirpy birds, cherry blossoms. Ooh, that's good. Birds, sheep and other baby animals. Oh, gonna cry. Mayflies, you absolute villain. Birds chirping, flowers, flowers, flowers. Strawberries. Opening the windows. An open window is an interesting idea. Frogs. Frogs. A robin's egg. Oh, that's a good idea. Cats in open windows. I am actually surprised by the cohesion of these responses and things that I would not have thought of. Man, there are more than 6 awesome recommendations here, but I think we have a very good place to start. I almost said shart. So the ideas I had were daffodil, tulip, a butterfly, a snake, like a coiled up snake, a clover, and I like the idea of an open window. I like the idea of an egg, a robin's egg, and I think all of those things would translate well to a circle shape. Little feet at the bottom. morning. Do we think I can salvage my hair for one more day? Gotta push it to the limit. I'm still here. I'm just spraying my hair in the bathtub. I don't want my floor to get all wet. This winter, my hair has been so flat and straight. My usual tricks have not been living up to my expectations. Oh gosh. Yet another reason to be excited for the warmer weather. A return to good hair days. Y'all ready to finish these Shrinky dinks today? You know, when I first told Gus what the topic for this week's video was, I was like, yeah, I'm making buttons out of Shrinky dinks. He was like, Shrinky dinks? What did you just say? You've never heard of Shrinky dinks? He's like, that's made up. That's not a real thing. It boggled my mind. And then the other night we were watching The Ultimatum. You guys know that horrible show? I don't know why we watch it, but one of the people on that show didn't know what Chubby Bunny was. You know, the game where you stick marshmallows in your mouth? I've just had my world rocked about people's experiences with childhood games and crafts. You're telling me that everyone's experience is not identical to my experience? Since when? The whole time? There's a little bit of existential dread baked into these Shrinky dinks, and I think that's probably healthy. It's probably a good thing. Kashi. I was just gonna say it's time to put our shame hole punch to the test. As I was looking at my little cutout buttons to be this morning, it really feels like tulip, the egg, the clover, and the daffodil are like part of one collection. And then the swan and the kitty in the window feel different, maybe because these are so simple and graphic and these are like actual little drawings. We'll see how they look when they're all shrunk-a-dunk, but there could be that we find two new ideas as well. Baby punch them holes and make some Shrinky dinks. Wow, that was much more of a struggle than I thought it was going to be. You guys ever think about what a hole punch is actually doing and get kind of sick to your stomach a little bit? I'm also realizing that pencil sketch lines are still visible. No wonder what will happen to those in the oven. If they'll kind of bake off, if they'll stay. I hope they bake off, but I guess we'll see. Sorry, Swan. Do not hole punch the cat. Do not hole punch the cat. I did not hole punch the cat. Let's do this thing. To bake these, we're setting the oven to 320 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 160 degrees Celsius, but obviously if you get shrink plastic, it'll probably have instructions. I don't know if it changes or is different depending on the brand. And then my instructions say it takes 2 minutes for them to totally shrink, curl, and then flatten back out. It was more like 4 to 5. Cross your tulips for me. They're curling, they're shrinking, they're flattening. What are you doing on your Sunday morning? Oh my gosh. Could they be any flicking cuter? You definitely can still see the graphite, so keep that in mind if you're making these yourself. I think it looks okay. I just don't know if it reads as swan, like immediately, you know? And I don't know if this reads as kitty sleeping in a window, although it is really cute. Interesting, interesting. Look at that egg. You are looking at a nude egg. Welcome to outside. Do I have a mic on? Yes. Did you think that was it? We were just gonna shrink them and sew them and call them a day, call it a day? No, we're gonna put resin on them. I've never used resin before. We've got a little UV light connected to a power bank, so I could do this outside in the breeze, in the fresh air. We've got my buttons, and I guess I need resin too. Where did I put that? Why are there ice packs here? How is there already dog hair on this? Clean, clean, clean. Well, that simply didn't work. Probably should have thought about the fact that using UV resin outside, even on a cloudy day, would cause the resin to start curing. And also, it's like 45 degrees out there. That's not something that resin really likes. We've moved inside, windows open, got our resin heating up, got our PPE. Let's try this again. For some reason, I didn't even consider that the resin would be a factor, like that it would potentially be the thing that causes an issue. The more you know, the more you know. Take two. Oh, so much better. So much better. There's a way. Did I accidentally cover the buttonholes? Yeah. Yeah. I hate them. Listen. We already talked about the sketches showing through. Decided I officially don't like that. We also already talked about how the swan and the window kind of don't match with the very natural, simple aesthetic of the other 4. Those are out. And then when I was putting on the resin, I got freaking resin in the little tiny holes. And yeah, I could use my Dremel to then drill out the hole, but if you don't get it in the hole, you get this really cute, I don't know if you can kind of see it, like bubbly effect around it, which I really like. So as cutesy patootsy as these are, I'm gonna redo them all really quick. Okay.
You can use song loops and instrument sounds. You can use song loops.
Hi, this is me trying to tell you that I forgot to hole punch the plastic, and then I baked it without the holes. Thank you guys for packing shirts. You know it. So I dremeled holes into the buttons and had a little bit of a breakdown, and now we're back. Guys, I drilled holes in them with the Dremel, and I didn't film it because I was pissed off. I'm gonna do the resin again. I'll see you when they're done, okay? Mwah. Peace and love. I'm back. No longer PO'd because look how great these shiny little buttons look. I ended up swapping out the swan and the window for bluebells, and this was just kind of supposed to be generic flower, but it kind of looks like a violet a little bit. Around the edge, you can see it has a really kind of rough edge because I used paper edging scissors that had a little scallop. They shrunk down just to basically be jagged little teeth, but that's okay. Didn't that turn out so nice? The holes are a little off, but that's okay. Oh yeah, and I added a butterfly instead of the robin's egg. I don't know, the egg felt kind of weird to me. I don't know why, almost a little too Eastery. Anyways, now it is time to actually put the buttons on the jacket. I'm now realizing I might have to make some of these buttonholes a little bit bigger. Yeah, I don't know if all these buttons are gonna fit through these holes, guys. It's just one thing after another. Either I make the buttonholes a little bit bigger. I'm not remaking the buttons, that is for dang sure. Or do I use the existing buttons and put these on top of them like a little removable faceplate? I could do that and just do a little decorative thread through the holes. That's what I'm gonna do. Man, I thought these holes were a little stretchier than they are. They're a lot smaller than I thought, huh? I guess if you're making buttons, opt for smaller than slightly larger. That's me rolling with the punches. I had a needle. Isn't that one of the scariest sentences that exists in the human language? Aha. Thank you, past Kathleen, for already having these sew-on snaps. Hi, I would call this the moment of truth, I think. I've got my buttons with my sewn-on snaps. Oh, we lost one. Okay, I'll find that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hold on, gotta go find that clip. So satisfying. Are they cute or what? Oh, I think they turned out really darn cute. There's something about the shamrock. Shamrock is really calling to me for some reason. Tulip, classic. Little daffodil at the top. I'm glad we went for a more naturalistic theme. Feels cohesive. That's my camera. And what a journey we've been on this week. Am I right? I thought, what could be easier than making, oh, there's ducks over there. Sorry. What could be easier than making some buttons out of some Shrinky dinks? I learned some new skills. And one thing that is often commented on my videos when we're making things is folks tend to like when I show the whole process, even the parts where things don't go as planned. And to me, I have no problem showing you when things don't go perfectly. I think if my intent were to make purely educational tutorial content, then yeah, I probably would just show you how to do it correctly, but this is really about the journey, learning things, expressing ourselves, having a nice time together. So next time you're learning a new craft or learning a new skill and you're not perfect at it the first time, remember that virtually no one is perfect at it the first time. And as long as you're having fun and maybe learning a little something, that's all that matters. That is the most like surface level advice that could possibly be given, but it's true. So let me know down below what reminds you of spring, what kind of springy buttons might you make? if this inspires you to make another type of Shrinky Dink craft. And also let me know if there are any childhood crafts or games that you thought everybody did but recently learned and rocked your own world that no, not everyone knows what Chubby Bunny is. Thanks for hanging out with me over these last couple of days. If you wanted a Thrift Gremlin shirt, I hope you were able to get one. Thank you so much for your support with this launch. Let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling down below, and I love ya. I hope you're having a great week, and goodbye. Oh, you're very stinky. That goes without saying, but okay, goodbye.